Hey everybody, Gabe Suarez here from Suarez Tactics. So I want to do a quick discussion on a topic that we started on the Patreon page and on the Patreon forum, discussing a term that we kind of came up with, deep concealment pistol. Okay, now there is a distinction between carrying something like this, that is, you're going to carry it in a holster, primary pistol, you're going to carry this on a, CCW, or on, your off-duty law enforcement on a badge or something like that, or, if you live in free America, constitutional carry, and, it's no big deal. It's a big, full-size fighting pistol. You can do amazing things with these, especially if you're running one with an optic. This is what we want to carry all the time if we can, whether it's a 1911, a Glock, one of those weird ass M17s that everybody's getting all sweaty about, or like my preference, one of the CZ pistols. Okay, no matter what you come against, terrorist, run-of-the-mill bad guy, whatever, something like this, top choice. This is what you should carry all the time. Now, should is an operative word. Should doesn't mean it's always going to happen. There are times, because of various circumstances, when something like this is going to be contraindicated because of various issues that we discussed on the Patreon page, but I'm not going to discuss in this video for obvious reasons. Suffice to say that the area that you are visiting or stopping at has some sort of directive in place that prevents you from carrying what you would like to carry, but you are going to carry anyway because the circumstances are that it's a dangerous place. Okay? I think we can read between the lines and know what we're talking about. All right, now, I think everybody has at one time or another carried in a similar environment. I certainly did when I worked overseas in a number of different places and whatnot. Okay, dangerous enough that you'd be an idiot to not be armed, but where maybe the norms of the environment, they didn't support what we have here in the U.S. Okay, so what we're talking about then primarily is we want to carry a pistol that is considerably smaller than this. Okay, considerably smaller than this. Why? Because it needs to be hidden, not just covered. America, man, we have it really good. All you have to do is stick this in your waistband, throw a t-shirt over it, and it's considered concealed, okay? In the real world, where the penalty for being discovered is you're gonna get shot in the head and dumped out in the jungle somewhere, maybe you're gonna make some compromises so that you will be truly hidden. Okay, that means that somebody casually looking at you will never assume that you're carrying a weapon. Even a cursory pat down, all right, potentially is not going to reveal that you are carrying a weapon. Now, the limit to the size you can carry, well, that depends on you. If you're the mountain from Game of Thrones, you could probably hide something like that in your boot. Okay, I can't. I'm about, 5'10", $180. I mean, there's a limit to what I can conceal in my body, and I think most of you fall into the same category. So what we're talking about are smaller pistols. These are compromised weapons. These are the ones that you're going to have on you when you can't have anything else. So the place of the deep concealment pistol is where I would otherwise be unarmed. I get to have something like this. Okay. Now, the something like this, what we're talking about is something that size. Something that size, something this size, or something this size. Now, let's talk about the application first, okay? The first thing that I'm going to tell you is you're not going to have a holster with you, because there will come a time when you need to take that pistol and you need to hide it somewhere in your car, in a bag of chips, okay? Maybe even put it somewhere where you may not be able to get to it right away, all right? You might even need to discard the damn thing, depending on circumstances. So now you can take that pistol, you can toss it into a rose bush, but now you got to take the belt off, you got to take the holster off, spare magazines, In the meantime, the opposition is looking at you going, what the hell is this guy doing? Okay, so first thing is no holsters. Okay, if you're going to wear a holster, you can wear something like this. Okay, if you're going to wear something like this size, you should not need to have a holster. Now the problem is that weapons of this type, striker fire, this happens to be Dragon Lady's Glock 42 that was tuned up by Josh over at Suarez International. Very nice little pistol, okay? This is either going to be used with empty chamber carry, okay? Or it's going to be used in a holster, or it's going to be used off-body carry, such as a purse or bag or something like that. You're not going to take this with a round in the chamber and stick it in your pocket and go on your merry way. Why not? Because every aspect of this pistol that people get all happy about, namely the very light and short trigger, is exactly what will cause a mishap if you're careless about how you carry this. So in my opinion, you can argue if you like, but you know, argue all you want. Eventually you'll put this in your pocket and you'll shoot the tip of your dick off, okay? Don't come crying to me. I told you. Striker fired pistols require a holster, okay? They require a holster. So my opinion, deep concealment pistol, striker fired, they don't do it. That means Glock 42, Glock 43, 6.3, 65, all of these guns that the mass media is all, loopy eye about, they don't fit in this category, deep concealment. Okay, what you need for deep concealment, all right, is something like this, okay? J-frame air weight, it's, I'm going to check it. See, there we go. We're cool, okay? Double action for every shot. The trigger can be tuned very nicely, okay? Some of the readers, they prefer, what is it, that Ruger LCR or LCP or whatever it is. That's fine too. It's not my preference. I prefer Smith & Wessons, but those others will work just fine. I think Taurus makes a small revolver like that, and a few other companies do as well. I'm a Smith & Wesson guy. It's what I started out with. It's what I've got. I got about 5 of these things, and I don't see any need to change because these do exactly what I want to do. Aluminum frame, steel cylinder, and like I said, the trigger can be tuned very, very nicely, okay? I've made 100-yard hits with this. It's like, it's stupid, but you can do it, okay? I like to add Techniclips to all of mine. There are other similar products out on the market. Again, this is what I got, so this is what I'm keeping, okay? I can put this in my pocket. I can stick it in my underwear, under my ball sack if I have to. It doesn't make any difference. There's no sharp edges on this, and there is no way on earth that this is going to go off by accident in my pocket or anywhere else, okay? So the other tenet of this deep concealment pistol issue is that it needs to have a double action trigger, okay? Now, it doesn't need to be a revolver, although you know what? You can't go wrong with one of these, okay? It could be something like this, okay? This is an original Walther 32 ACP, okay? The original James Bond pistol, all right? Now, this has a double action trigger, okay? For the first shot, after that, the slide cycle, and you get, your single action shot. As well, you can preemptively go single action if you prefer. For deep concealment pistol, this right here, this design is better than this design. They're the same size, okay? This is a little lighter, but not that much, okay? But the trigger here condemns it for this application. Again, my opinion. You can argue if you like, but you know what? Big boy rules. Double action for the first shot, preferable for this application. Very, very small pistol, okay? You can compare it to the Smith & Wesson revolver, okay? Head to head, as it were. About the same size. This is maybe a tad bit heavier, but not all that much, okay? All right? You'll see even smaller pistols like this, this Beretta 3032, okay? Now, the issue that I have with this for this particular application is that it's got a safety. Okay, that means that if this gets engaged in your pocket and you pull it out and you try and press it, okay, I took it off because I trained myself to do it. But let's say that safety's on, okay, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get a dead trigger. Can you fix it? Absolutely. But how long is that going to take you to do? These are cool. These are, I like these because I can put a can on the end and everything else, but because this has a safety lever, or if it has, you know, a grip safety, for example, okay, these are things that I would tend to shy away from for this particular application. All right, so deep concealment pistol, what we're talking about is something that you can throw in your pocket. Okay, it can act as a backup gun to your primary, and it could also act as a standalone when you have to go into an environment that would preclude you being properly armed. Now, something like this, all right, this is a 38 special. I usually load it with Spear Gold Dot proven round. I mean, you know, there's nothing to argue with this. You know, the 45 ACP crowd, wow, it's a 38. Listen, dude, lots of people have been killed by 38s. I've seen it happen in person, okay? I wouldn't sneer at anything, especially you're talking about face shots with these up close, okay? This is basically an extension of your punch. Think about it, okay? That's what this is going to be used for. You're not going to be using this for, you know, 50-yard shots and things like that, although you could in training. It's not what it's for. This is for an emergency situation where you couldn't carry anything else, all right? So something like this works pretty good. Okay, something like this works pretty good as well. For more on deep concealment pistols, visit our Patreon page and visit our Patreon forum page. We have discussions going on about all that stuff and what the application is, and kind of getting in a little bit deeper in the weeds about how this this sort of thing works and when and where. To a level that I don't know that I want to discuss on video. But anyway, that's it, guys. Deep concealment pistol, you know, keep in mind how you're going to carry it, keep in mind where you're going to carry it, and don't make the mistake of thinking that a holster-dependent pistol is suitable for this application. All right? Anyway, that's it. Peace out.